My name is Andrea Libman, and I do the voices of Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and My Little Pony Equestria Girls. I've been in the business quite a long time. I started when I was 6 years old doing films, and started doing voice work shortly after that, and here I am now. So, any questions you might have, I'll be happy to answer.
What was it like working with David Duchovny many years ago?
It was really cool. He was a really nice guy. I remember he had a puppy when we were working on the set of X-Files, so I got to play with the puppy. I remember he played catch with me. It was really fun.
Hi, my name is Forrest S., J1 Studios, and my question is, have there been any recent inside jokes amongst yourself and the other actresses or actors on the show?
We have lots of inside jokes, but the problem is if I tell them to you, you won't think they're funny because they're inside jokes.
Is there like a scenario where someone fumbled on a word or something?
Oh, all the time. All the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi there, Rainbow Plasma, Cutie Art Crusaders. When you record for, say, like an episode, or in some cases, Equestria Girls, a movie, do you record separately from all the other voice actors and actresses, or are you all in the same room together to do like a scene?
No, when we record for the show and for Equestria Girls, we record all together. For Equestria Girls, sometimes it's a little different because the cast is so large that we need to do shifts because there's only so many microphones. But for the show, we are always all there in the room.
Hey, I'm Aquaman with Equestria Daily. When you're recording for the show as opposed to Equestria Girls, do you play Pinkie Pie anyway or Fluttershy anyway different between each one? Do you consider them to be the same characters, just in different bodies?
I consider them the same character, and I try and keep them as close as I possibly can to stay true to that character.
So when you're given the scripts to do an episode or a movie, how much leeway are you given with tone or even just like the way you would phrase things, or is it very much a concrete, like you have to read it these exact words in this exact way?
We definitely have freedom, and when we go through our first pass, we take advantage of that, and we try and be creative and do what we want to do. And in terms of read, you know, how other people read their lines affects how I deliver my lines. I love to play off other people and keep it open. And then after that, you may get some notes from the director, a little more like this, we're thinking more of that, and then you adjust accordingly. But we do have room to say, oh, you know, I think it would be more appropriate for Fluttershy to use this word, or do you mind if I rearrange this sentence? And they're very good about that. So.
All right, thank you.
Kind of going off that, do you kind of ask other voice actors for certain suggestions in certain parts, like some of the?
No, I mean we're also experienced. I would say that we really kind of just go for it, and the director is the one that takes the lead on giving you suggestions and shaping the way the dialogue's going to go. I'd say, you know, the only time, sometimes you might be really stuck on something, or there's a reference that you may not know. You may turn to one of your colleagues in the room to say, I don't know what that is, and they'll go, oh, it's this, and they'll just do it, and you're like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Well, actually, though, I do have to say that sometimes if I have a line that is not working for me, I'll always, Tabitha's on my left and Ashley's on my right, and I'll just say, Tabitha, can you work with this? She's a writer as well. She's really good with words, and then she'll sometimes scribble her suggestions on the page, and we'll try it. So.
So I was just going to ask, how long is the process from when you first see a script for an episode to when production is wrapped up, when you've all finished recording your lines? Like, do you try to do each episode in the order each scene is? Do you bounce around between episodes, or is it all just in one go?
We do it in a script always in the order that it is. Unless somebody comes in, they have 2 lines, and they say, oh, can I do my 2 lines and leave? They might get to do that. But other than that, we get the script a couple days before, or sometimes the day before. And then we go in and we'll do it scene by scene. It's kind of how we go.
Did you have any episodes or scripts that you had like extra fun doing because Pinkie or Fluttershy got to hang out with this character a lot, and it was just like...
Well, I mean, the obvious one is working with Weird Al Yankovic. It was a blast. That was so much fun. But a lot of them, it's fun having guest characters for sure. But it's also fun, the core cast, we know each other so well, we love working together, so it's almost always fun.
Cool.
Just going off that a little bit, can you describe a little bit more in detail what it was like to work with Weird Al and then what kind of crazy stuff happened there?
Sure. Unfortunately, nothing too crazy happened because he's very, very professional, which I really admire about him. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't know what to expect. I knew that I was going to be working with him, which was nice because sometimes we just don't know. And he was patched in. So he was in Los Angeles and I was in Vancouver, but we could hear each other and interact with each other, which I think really added to that episode. But he was just 100% professional, just very, very great at what he does and very receptive to direction, really kind, really courteous. And then later he actually gave us some tickets to his show and backstage passes. So when he did come up to Vancouver, me and Jason and Jim all went to go see him. We got to meet him after. And it was really interesting seeing him up on stage. Have any of you seen him perform?
No,
He is an incredible performer. I would recommend his shows to everybody. Like, it's for everybody. He puts on one heck of a show. It's awesome. Like dances, costumes, and he's so animated in his face and everything. So it was neat. And then backstage, it was back to just totally professional, normal guy. So yeah, it's cool.
Do you have a favorite underappreciated moment of the series? Like, something that hasn't caught on as much as, you might have liked
Seedling.
it to?
I mean, why hasn't Seedling caught on?
What do you mean by Seedling?
There's a character on the show that I voiced, and it was called Seedling, and it coughed. I'm kidding. I just thought it was funny they actually put me in the credits.
Actually, this is a perfect time to ask to tell you this. I don't know if you've looked at your behind the voice actors profile lately, but as well as mentioning all the ponies that you play, they also mentioned that you played Mr. Turnip, Rocky, Sir Lancelot, and
yeah, but really Pinky played those, right?
Right.
Like your phone case.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you play piano.
I do. Where's that from?
A little Korean store in South Street, Philadelphia.
Darn, I guess I can't get it. That's awesome.
Will you sign mine after
Sure.
this?
Yeah, sure.
What kind of piano do you play, by the way?
Like, what kind of music do I play, or what piano do I have?
Jazz or what?
Oh, well, mostly classical. I'm a classical player, but I do dabble in all genres and pop and.
Sweet.
So are there any plans to form like a voice actor band? Like you're on piano, you keyboard, and imagine Tabitha on lead guitar.
Ashley on vocals.
I don't know. I think Tabitha would be on like some sort of lyre or like.
If you ask nicely, you can get Miss Rogers with her ukulele.
Yeah. Well, actually, in Minnesota, we did an acoustic concert, and Amy came up and played her ukulele, and it was awesome. It was really fun.
In the Byron Fank, the round stable, I like saying the round stable, seriously. In the admittedly rare instance where you have to play Pinkie Pie talking to Fluttershy or they interact, do you read through that and like go, or do you do the lines separately, or?
I just go for it. Yeah, we don't.
Do you like jump position to indicate that's what you're doing?
No, I couldn't do that because I have to be on mic, right? So you really can't. It's just really natural. Ashley does it too. We both flip back and forth. Tabitha does it because she plays tons and tons of characters. We just do it. We just kind of make that adjustment. I think at the very, very beginning, season 1, we did some separate recordings, but now we know those characters so well that it's easy to just flip.
Snap.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever flipped accidentally to the wrong character?
No.
Too good.
I think I'm a very visual person, so when I have those lines in front of me, and usually actually lately in my highlighters, I don't know where they are, but usually I highlight everything and I highlight all the Pinkie Pie lines in one color, in pink usually, and all the Fluttershy lines in yellow, and then for me that visual cue, I think it's from piano that I'm so trained with like reading and reacting and performing that, yeah, it's good.
So when are you going to have a mechanical engineering panel at one of these conventions?
Well, it wouldn't be mechanical, it would be civil.
Oh, sorry, civil.
And hopefully never, because that would be really boring.
You could pony it up a little bit. Like.
Yeah?
Well, you know, you could go on about how Pinkie Pie's balloon, structural support and Pinkie Pride, how to make it actually work.
Oh man,
Bridges
just
over
the thought of that just makes me
Equestrian
die a
civil
little
engineering.
inside. But I know there's lots of bronies that are engineers. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so this is sort of a chain question, but you know, as somebody who's got like a talent for creating personalities and doing silly voices and whatnot, do you ever like do accents to entertain others or even yourself?
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you say you have a favorite accent?
Lots. There's lots.
I was wondering, like, yeah, would you say like you have a favorite one? Because I was wondering, like, if Fluttershy was a certain.
Oh, I always, for some reason, whenever I do an accent for her, it's always French. Or I like to just plain old speak in French as Fluttershy. I don't know why. I think it's because she had that line about the clothing that was all haute couture, you know, everything. And so I asked him, I said, do you want me to read this, like, because I'm fluent in French, so do you want me to read this as it's supposed to be, or do you want me to read it as someone non-French speaking would say it? And they're like, oh, go for it, just say it in perfect French. I'm like, okay. So I don't know, I think because of that I'm always Fluttershy's French.
That was cool.
Secretly.
Yeah. That added a lot of dynamics to her character in that one moment.
Yeah, I like that too.
Wow.
Good writing.
It also means that Equestria has France in it somewhere.
I guess. Or something.
Well, you know,
There are a lot of accents.
It's fancy. At least if the cutie pox is any indicator.
Ah.
Could you give us a sample of that, Fluttershy in French?
Oui, mais je ne sais pas.
Of course, no one speaks French.
No,
It was,
no one?
It was yes, and then some question. No, it wasn't a question.
Say I don't know.
Yeah. Est-ce qu'elle parle parisienne ou québécois?
Oh, je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas.
Captures Equestrian Daily.
Anyone else?
Have there been any shows before MLP where you and another voice actress from the show actually worked together?
Oh yeah, tons. I think I worked with everybody, just about. Tabitha I've known for a very, very long time, worked with her for a very long time. I've worked with Ashley tons. I guess I never worked with Tara before, but Tabitha and Tara have worked together. And most of the guest people I've worked with too. It's kind of a tight-knit community in Vancouver, and we all know each other.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Brenda I've known, Brenda Critchlow, who plays the core, I've known her for a very long time too.
Are there any shows you'd recommend we check out where you and some of the other ones are in there?
Oh, you probably know most of them. Madeline is a show that I did, and I think everyone's on that as a guest. And that's where I know Brenda from. Ian was on it, Ian Corlett was on it quite a bit. What else from the old days?
I really like Dragon Tales.
Yeah, Dragon Tales?
Yeah, Emmy was my girl. She was.
Oh, awesome.
It's
so funny. I'll meet kids. Well, I guess it's kind of now those kids are adults, but at the time I would meet a kid and they would love Dragon Tales. And it's, oh, I play Emmy. No, you don't. Your hair's the wrong color. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That show was Friendship and Magic too.
That's true. Yeah, it was.
I'll just check it out.
So you flew in with Terry Klassen. I'm not sure if you remember, but I sat next to you on the plane.
Yeah.
And you guys were talking a little bit about, I believe, working with him when you were younger.
Yeah.
And with Andrew Francis as well, I believe.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about what that was and who else was?
Sure. I've worked with Terry a ton from when I was really young, and I think maybe the first show I did with him was called Salty's Lighthouse. It was a series. I don't know where it went, but it was a series. I played a little crab named Quad. And with Andrew, I know Andrew was on Madeline, and I think he was also on Reboot. So I think Andrew and I are the same age, and we've worked together for a long time, and we saw each other when we both did, he still does film, but when I did film, I saw him in that industry as well. But, yeah.
So to put you on the spot a little bit, back at TrotCon, I know you came up with Mare Force Yay, but I wanted to see if I could get another silly movie title from you. For those who don't know, I asked her if Fluttershy was in a, like lone survivor where she's got to save the day scenario. So I want to go with Pinkie Pie in a romantic comedy here.
Pinkie Pie in a romantic comedy. I don't know, help me out, guys.
Jeez.
Sleepless in Seattle. I got nothing. That's the, you change a couple letters.
Sleepless in Ponyville?
That's already a thing.
Does that count?
We'll go with it.
Perfect.
It works.
Okay.
My big pink Greek wedding.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Actually, I did want to put out a challenge to artists. I don't know, do you guys want to help me put it out there?
Sure.
I was thinking since we're in Baltimore, we should definitely get some art as the ponies as characters from Hairspray.
Interesting.
I was afraid you were going to say The Wire.
That too. That would also be awesome.
It's probably been done.
You think? Hairspray and The Wire?
No,
I don't
together,
want to say
no.
there's something going on with our mascots and Hairspray, but there's totally something going on with our mascots and Hairspray.
Is there?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think Pinkie Pie should be the main character. Right? Just fits, 'cause she's kind of zany. What's her name? And I think Fluttershy should be Penny. Anyways, I'm going to throw it out there at my panel. And hopefully...
I'm sure plenty of artists would.
As soon as you issue the challenge.
Yeah, by the
Yeah.
end of the panel, someone will come up with a
Yeah.
Have to have a Twitter event for it.
What are you looking forward to most over the weekend?
Just meeting people. That's always what I look forward to the most. Went to a baseball game last night. It was awesome. Really beautiful ballpark. Yeah, just being here.
So I was talking with Simsy a little bit, and she was describing how sometimes it's a bit difficult to come to these weekends where you've got thousands of people and you can barely even walk around. So is it kind of taxing to have to always be on all the time?
It is. It's exhausting. It's probably the most exhausting thing I've ever done, but it's also 100% worth it. It's rewarding at the same time. So, you get what you put in, right?
How many conventions have you been to at this point?
Quite a few. Yeah, quite a few. I really like it. I really like traveling, and I really like meeting people. So
Who holds the record now? Is it Peter or is it...
I don't keep track of those things.
I'm pretty sure it's actually you, Andrea. I would have to figure out where to look that up.
You're on
Someone's
that.
got the stats.
Okay, so moving a little bit back, and I guess we can just call it My Little Pony's Past. You used to be the voice of Sweetie Belle before. You've done that once before.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of along that same tangent, if there was another character in the show now that you were given the opportunity to play, is there anyone that you would like to jump over and give a try to?
I have to say that there's some interesting things coming your way in season 5, and I'll just leave it at that.
Juicy details.
About the hobbies listed on your profile, it says you do snowboarding and skiing.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, what kind of snowboarding and skiing you do?
Well, so sometimes there's snow on hills. No, I mean, I live in Vancouver, so downhill, I guess, is that?
Okay. I didn't know whether to picture you on ramps, doing 360s.
Oh, no, more just going with trees and kind of.
Okay. That's a little relaxing.
So alpine as opposed to telemarking?
yes.
Okay. Do you
Not
have a
a vocal
favorite?
I'm actually a really poor skier.
Oh.
I'm a really good snowboarder.
Oh.
But I hurt my back 6 years ago, something like that. And now I'm just kind of a little bit wary of being on the board and falling on my back because it's just so exposed. So I decided to try skiing. So I'm kind of just learning skiing.
That's interesting.
So I'm not.
I don't really hear that many snowboarders going back to skiing. It's usually.
Yeah, it's happening more and more.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Do you have a favorite mountain you like to go to?
Whistler's
Oh,
awesome.
okay.
Yeah, I don't get up there as much as I'd like to, but hard to beat.
Yeah.
Were there any TV shows that you grew up watching that sort of, or even that you watch now, that have sort of inspired you to put a certain take on a character?
I was a big fan of Disney, DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale. Those were kind of my favorite shows to watch as a kid, for sure.
Cool.
And nowadays, I'm trying to watch actually more and more animation, because I think the more you watch, the better versed you are in references, and the more you learn, I guess.
Do you like anime at all?
Yeah, I like performing in it. I did Gundam 00, Dragon Ball,
Oh yeah.
a few other things. Yeah.
Cool. How about Attack on Titan? I was just gonna ask about that one in specific.
Which one?
Attack on Titan.
I did that?
Oh no, have you watched it?
No.
Oh, okay.
If you want to ask someone about that, ask Heather. She loves that.
Oh.
Then going off the cartoon thing, is there something that you think is that you like to recommend people check out?
I think my favorite show recently has been Homeland. It's a little different from My Little Pony.
And I know you also said then at TROCON that if you could voice, any character, you'd want to do Rainbow Bright in the Resurrection.
Yes.
Is there if you had a live action role in any franchise or whatever that you could pick, what would that be?
Oh, I don't know. Live action scares me.
Just do what Peter did and become like a truck driver or something.
Really? That's how you'd cast me?
Peter did begin with what? Huge, giant, fat guy?
Right.
So, truck driver.
I
can do it.
So what else,
truck driver.
what else are you working on right now? I know a lot of people might be watching this and just know you for what you do at Pony, but what else are you currently working on?
Okay, what am I allowed to say that I'm working on? Pac-Man. I think I'm allowed to say that. That's on Disney XD. I think that's all I'm allowed to talk about.
What are you not allowed to talk
Lots of
Yes to
things.
nothing.
Lots of things. There are questions?
How about charity organization?
Oh, yeah, I volunteer every week at Children's Hospital in Vancouver. So that's something that's I'm involved with. I also became involved with Pink Shirt Day, which is an anti-bullying organization. That's been good.
Are you doing any more charity bike rides?
Not at the moment, but you guys would be the first to know. Couldn't have done that without everyone's help. So.
With the Children's Hospital, do you ever visit kids in character or anything like that?
I don't, no. I volunteer just as a person, and I just help out, and it has nothing to do with my work on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
Well, I'm sure there are more. So back at Everfree Northwest, I had the chance to interview Kathy Westlock for about 10 minutes, and one of the questions I asked her was which character she would like to see Spike interacting with more on the show, and she actually mentioned Fluttershy.
Yeah, Kathy loves Fluttershy.
She said that Spike could be a great little brother for her, be brave and noble and all that. So what would that be for, I don't know, Pinkie Pie or Fluttershy, you think?
It'd be fun. It'd be great.
Any other characters you think they would bounce off of that you would like to see in the show?
Oh, I see. It's hard for me to answer questions like that because I know what's coming. So I'm just gonna.
Okay, I only recently saw Hot Diggity Demons parody series
Okay.
on the show, and I was just wondering what your response was the first time you saw the Fluttershy scene.
I don't think I've seen it.
No,
I was
that's probably the best.
Yeah.
I just really never watch videos. People send me a lot of videos, and I just don't click on them. A lot of times I'm somewhere where I have to be quiet, like studio or that kind of thing, or I'm watching TV and I'm going online. I just don't, I love to see art and photos and that kind of thing. But in terms of videos, I don't watch them.
I think you'd get a kick out of hot diggity.
Yeah? Okay, all right. I will take it under consideration.
So you mentioned you were looking around art and things like that. Do you actively go seek it out, or is it more like people will send you things on Twitter?
Yeah, I seek it out. Every Friday is Fluttershy Friday. Happy Fluttershy Friday. So every Friday I usually Google something to do with Fluttershy. I'm always looking for things. If I'm doing something that particular day, like say I'm going to the beach, I might Google Fluttershy beach and see what comes up. So this morning I was Googling Fluttershy hairspray, Fluttershy Baltimore. Nothing was coming up, so that's why we need more stuff. Just behind you there's a question.
Yeah, I know Fluttershy Fun Day is still going strong, but you didn't have a tag for Pinkie Pie. I remember we mentioned that once in the previous.
Well, we were talking about doing Pink Mondays.
Well, what about, I was going to suggest, what about Pinkie Pie Fun Day Monday?
Oh,
Because Fun Day Monday is kind of a thing that people have used before, and if you could tie that in with Pinkie Pie, it would make a nice tag.
Okay, that's good. Because I started that a few times with Pinkie Pie and Mondays, because I think everyone hates Mondays. So it would be nice to bring a little smiles and joy to our Mondays. Should I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. More work for me. Just kidding. Yeah.
Okay. I won't ask about season 5 now, so we don't have to worry about talking anything like that. But over the course of the 4 seasons we've already seen that we can talk about, we've definitely seen a whole lot of character growth just in terms of how the main 6 have developed and their relationships and their interactions with the world around them. So speaking for both Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy, what would you say is the most important thing that's changed in them since the first episode of season 1 to where we are now?
Absolutely for Fluttershy, it's her learning that she can be assertive, that she has that, but not too assertive. I think for all of them, what's the nicest message? I think this is what people really can relate to. It's okay to be yourself. You don't have to change who you are. Just be yourself, and that's the best person you can be. So I like that.
I think it's also a good message of even if things do change, then friends can stay the same as well. So
For
they've
sure.
all stuck together despite the fact that everything's changed and a non-zero number of the team have grown wings. So.
I have a question about Fluttershy's character development. Some of the bronies that I associate with actually think she's one of the slowest to actually overcome some of her fears and issues. Do you think that the writers will actually kind of go out of their way to actually really get rid of the shy part of Fluttershy without actually sacrificing the character?
No, because I think that's what makes her, and I think it's okay to be shy. That's not a vice. There's nothing wrong with that, and that's what I love about the show, and I love that about her character is people can be shy, and there's nothing wrong with that.
If this show were to go on for the next 40 years, or until the day, I think you just answered my question, because I was just going to say, would you stick around for the whole rest of the thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it will, but that'd be a dream come true. It already is a dream come true, so the more we get to work on it, just every episode, it's just a gift.
You mentioned sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
You mentioned Fluttershy being too assertive. Was it fun to be in that mode in the one episode where she goes off the handle and
Not
just
really.
take notes? It's
hard. It's hard
Really?
because it's anytime you go out of character, it's just really, really difficult because you're thinking she wouldn't do this. She would never do this. So it's really tough to find that. But I hope it came off okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, that's what really counts.
Going off of that, was there ever another point perhaps, or maybe that this was just the point where you looked at a script and you looked at the characters and you said, this just doesn't feel right, or and have you talked with the writers about that at all?
Luckily, I think the writers are really great, and I think they do a really great job of staying true to character, so no, I've never really felt that way. I mean, there might be a little word here or there, or sometimes it'll be a bunch of like a walla line, so it'll say, all the main 6 say this, and there might be suggestions. And maybe the director will go, okay, you take the first one, you take the second one, you take the third one, you might, go, excuse me, like, Fluttershy would never say, "Let's party down."
Right.
Like, I think we know who that was meant for. So just little things, but.
Question again. What do you have for a professional relationship with the voice actor that played Flutter Guy? Like, did he have to actually come to you and like talk to you about the character or anything before he actually started doing Flutter Guy?
Well, Blue is someone that I've also known for a really long time, from Madeline days. So we didn't talk per se. I mean, that's what the direction team is there for. They're, you know, the ones to say, you need to be more like this, you need to be more like that. But we were both in the room together, so I think he got a pretty good idea. But it was just so funny because not only are our voices complete opposites, but we are complete opposite people. It was just hilarious. Like, I'm really small, and he's a really big guy, and it was hysterical.
Anyone else?
You know, I'll get a bit creative with it. So season 4, there was a Power Ponies episode. We got to see the alternate versions of the main 6 with all with superpowers. So Pinkie Pie had her super speed. Fluttershy had some anger management issues going on. And as far as you personally goes, what do you think your superpower would be?
Oh. What would it be, or what would I like it to be?
Either answer works.
I'd like to be able to just like snap my fingers and be anywhere.
So just teleportation, kind of like that.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Be handy.
That would be handy. What
Save
would
a
it-
lot on airfare.
What's that?
You would save a lot on airfare.
I know. Everyone would. It'd be great. I don't know what it would be.
You can make appearances at every convention.
Yeah. Okay. And then sleep in your own bed. Amazing.
Where would you like to visit if you could?
Oh man, yeah, I'm such a travel bug. I've got okay. In the States, I've never been to Chicago. I've never been to New Orleans. So those are kind of at the top of my list, I would say. But there's lots of other places I heard are really fun too. And in the world, I want to go everywhere. But I really want to go to Thailand and Cambodia, Laos, Southeast Asia. I really want to go to, this could go on for a while. Copenhagen, I really want to see, and I heard Helsinki was amazing. I really want to go there. Japan, South America, yeah, everywhere.
Have you gotten to travel to Europe because of the whole...
Yeah, I went to Galapon last
You did
year.
that.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite author, like book-wise and all that?
Jane Austen.
How has your interaction with kids been so far? I've noticed that there's a lot more kids at the convention starting recently.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love it. It just adds a whole new level of fun. I love doing the voices for them and just watching them either look really confused or their eyes kind of lighting up. Little kids will just kind of look around because they're looking for the ponies. It's fun. It's really fun.
Any other questions?
So, Season 3, Wonderbolt's Academy, Pinkie Pie goes off on this magnificent rant about what could possibly happen if Rainbow Dash doesn't get her letter. I'm sure that was pretty difficult. Any other instances like that in like Season 4, like any of the other seasons that have proven to be just as difficult to voice?
I don't know. Like her rants, I like them. It's good. Yeah, it can be a challenge to get through the whole thing and time your breathing. So, I may go through once and then I'll figure out, okay, I have to put my breaths here, here, here. But usually by the second take, usually it happens. I had trouble with one the other day, but it was just because they rewrote. They're like, we're going to rewrite this, and then it just didn't flow anymore. So that can happen.
Actually, kind of going off that, what do you do leading up to, like, actually voicing the character, like inserting breath marks, for instance, or marking out?
I don't do that in advance. I just read the script because I need to know the storyline. I need to know where things are going and what's going to happen, and just familiarize myself with it. If there's anything weird, that's what I look for, is just kind of like all of a sudden, Fluttershy is French. Like, I would need to know that in case I've never done it, that accent, I would have to look it up type thing, if there's anything like that. But otherwise, I try not to really get into it because I want to be flexible. I want to wait and hear what everyone else does and react off them. And it may change my read completely. So I know the storyline, but I don't work on my lines because I find that can get it more too rigid. So I like to keep it loose.
Do you guys kind of do a preliminary read through and then
No, we just go right into it.
So is there no like specific warm-up routine or like something you do to get yourself just prepared for voice acting in general, let alone?
Well, for My Little Pony, luckily we always record in the afternoon. So if it's an afternoon recording, I don't need to warm up because I've already been talking. And once I've been talking, that's a good enough warm up to do a session. If I've got a 9 o'clock session, depending on the character, I may need to start talking in the morning just to get going. And for singing, I do vocal warm ups.
Going off I just blanked on this one. Someone else go ahead, I need to recall this.
Happens all the time.
If you hadn't discovered voice acting, is there an alternate career path that you might have chosen to take?
Yeah, I was totally going to be an engineer.
Oh, okay.
Went to school and everything.
Can I ask what interests you about engineering in general?
My subjects that I was really the strongest in were physics and math, so I thought that meant that I had to be an engineer. Turns out it doesn't mean that.
Okay, now I remember. Going off the accent question earlier, if you ended up with a script that's something like, oh, we need you to do a Cockney accent for this character, will you ever have more of a window to, practice that?
Yeah, so if I saw that in a script, I would look that up and
but I mean,
research it.
would like the actual show, give you something like that in advance so there's more time to rehearse for it?
No.
So have you ever going up and had to learn an entire accent in one day or less?
Oh, all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Unrelated note, do you actually like browse in the vendor hall here, or is that just too hectic for you?
I do. That's one of my favorite things to do is go in the vendor hall, but here, I don't know if I could. It might just be too crazy.
You should totally something.
Yeah.
A disguise?
Just get one of the horse masks.
Yeah.
Sounds hot. Balaclava. But yeah, the vendor hall is really fun.
Do you ever get like artists or whatever coming up to you and handing out like fan art to you?
Yeah, I'm really lucky.
Yeah.
Where do you keep all of it?
I have Tupperware boxes. I recently moved, so I haven't gone through it yet, but I'm gonna go through it soon and sort
and hopefully there's the wall space and everything.
Yeah.
Do you hang any of them up?
Yeah.
I was going to ask if maybe there was a favorite piece that you really cherish that maybe has a reserved space on the wall that you always enjoy looking at that someone's made for you?
That someone's made for me. I don't know. I really like my Comic-Con DJ Pawn that I got last year. That's not fan made. I like my wood carvings from Ed. Those are nice.
I mean, yeah, it's good.
Do you have like a favorite fan artist?
Well, it kind of is Pixel Kitties. She does all my autograph prints, and she's not only a crazy, amazing, talented artist, but she's also a wicked, awesome person. So, yeah, like her a
That was
lot.
a safe answer to that question. That was it.
Is it safe?
Yeah,
It's true.
I don't think anybody just likes
It's
Pixel
true.
Kitties.
I just noticed that you had tweeted a piece that by Pixel Kitties that you'll be signing here at Bronycon.
Yeah.
For this con.
Yes.
That she had done for you for your birthday, correct?
Yeah.
That was really nice. It was Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie as Pokey Trainers.
Yes. It's awesome. Yeah, I can't believe the stuff she comes up with. It's so good.
Do you have any cute fuzzy creatures at home?
No. Travel too much.
Would you like that?
Yeah, I really want a dog.
What breed?
Wow. You're really Not too sure yet. Yeah, a nice one.
I
Cuddly.
just want to start wars in here, don't we?
Would you describe yourself more as a Pinkie Pie or a Fluttershy, or do you think there's parts of both?
I think both. Would you guys agree? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see parts of any of the other main six in you?
Yeah, Tabitha always says that I'm more of a rarity than she is. But she is too.
Do you have any like cool mini projects you do? Like, you know, Peter New has his alien invasion whatever thing that I know he's been trying to get off the ground for a year or two now. And then Tabitha kind of has her little Vimeo stuff that, you know, has appeared and disappeared and appeared again. So do you have any, you know, little cute projects like that that you're involved in?
No. Well, I mean, I have some music stuff. I think I'd like. Oh, thank you. I'd like to do some more music. I have a video I did with Mando Pony. I'd like to do more of that. It's just hard to find the time. I'm also a perfectionist, so whenever I do record anything music-wise, I'm never satisfied with it. Oh, I just finished recording a song with the Creebers, with Michelle and Creeber and Monique Creeber, and also Gabe. So it should be good.
So I'm sure you've heard the question before what your favorite moment in the show is, but what I wanted to ask, kind of separate from that, do you have a favorite fan moment, like something that's happened around the show that is something that stands out to you in the same way?
Yeah, there's so many special fan moments for sure. We were just at Comic-Con and a little girl got up and said that the show helped her get through her parents' divorce, and she started crying. And, you know, and that's just one tiny example, and so many people come up to me all the time and tell me these really personal, touching, amazing, positive things, and it's incredible. I can't even keep track of them all, but it's awesome.
Well, now that we know that you enjoy traveling around so much and all that, have you been traveling a lot lately due to all the conventions you've been attending, or have you always been just like kind of traveling your whole life?
I've always been traveling, but it's great because conventions gives me a good excuse to go. I was like, oh, well, I have to go. But it's really good because I'm usually when I go to a convention, I'm kind of planning side trips around it and seeing what else I can do. I always try and see the city. Yeah, love traveling.
Do you then try and get in either like a day early or head out a day late?
Yeah, usually. Yeah, depending on where it is.
You know, it seems like normal procedures. Everyone's gone Sunday evening to get back to work.
Well, sometimes you have to work on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, it just depends what the schedule is.
Do you have any place particular in Baltimore this year you want to hit up? Or have you already done it with the Orioles game?
Well, the Orioles game, yeah, that was top of the list, so it's great. It's like, I want to eat some really delicious crab. I'm sure we all do, right?
Were they playing against the Mariners last night?
No, it was the Angels.
Oh, okay. Well, who cares about the Angels?
He's the Seattle guys.
Oh, tonight.
Yeah. Don't think I can make tonight. Maybe Saturday.
You probably have some panels to go to.
What panels?
Any other questions?
I'm good.
All right. Well,
thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah,
very much.
Thanks.
Come on, people, clap for it.
We really appreciate you doing this with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's fun.